Chris, Ron, Brian, Al, Jovan. I don't know if anyone else is coming or not, but it's us six to get the ball rolling. It's the final day of July. It is Christmas in July, and of course, that is the last day of our Christmas in July specials, flying off the shelves. Well, not necessarily flying off the shelves. I think those people that can afford them took advantage of it. I understand it's a large purchase for most people, so I understand if you didn't take advantage of it, but if you didn't, and, you know, I think the nice thing about the Christmas in July specials, and I say this all the time, I sound like a broken record, but it's the last time you have to hear it until next July, is that even the small players can buy a yearly package, and then it won't affect your individual bets if you spread it out over the course of the year. So it's like most of the yearly packages are $1,000 range. It's really $3 a day. Most of the cappers give at least 3 picks on average a day. I would say some days maybe 1, but other days 20. So it all balances out over time, and so it shouldn't affect the bottom line as far as betting. If you're not betting $3 a game or $1 a game, or I don't even know what it comes out to. Not really sure what to tell you. What's the lowest bet they take, Chris?
I mean, the lowest I ever saw was 10 cents.
10 cents?
10-cent round robin.
Oh, yeah, 10-cent round robin. Said you used to have a business partner that specializes in those. That's all he would bet. 10 cent. Go did a 15-center on this one. Like crazy.
Hold me back.
Crazy. Professional handicapper. Anyways, yeah. Major League Baseball action carrying on. 2 days away from the trade deadline. Should be interesting to see. And, of course, NFL football starts on Thursday. But it's just preseason. Is it 3 preseason games this year? 3 preseason.
Unless you're in the Hall of Fame game.
Chris Ruffalo, what's your favorite Christmas in July song?
Oh, man. The 12 Days of Christmas.
Edamame?
Edamame.
And Edamame.
Edamame.
How about you, Ron? What's your favorite Christmas in July song?
I do like the 12 Days of Christmas, but particularly the Muppets version. As a kid, that was always my favorite. I play that over and over on my grandma's cassette. So,
how about Edamame?
Never heard of it.
No?
No.
All right. Comes up on my treadmill. Edamame.
I like the Canadian 12 Days of Christmas. I don't remember. I think it was on SCTV or something like that.
There's also the
whole. In Canada, it was 13 Days of Christmas, not 12.
Because Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Third day.
Yeah, there's the Hawaiian 12 Days of Christmas too. We know Brian's favorite song.
Jingle Bells.
I thought it was Melakaliki Maka because it's the wise.
It is,
way.
But I can't even pronounce it, so I'm not going to get myself.
We just got into this on the.
He's going to end up saying so many regrets if he tries to pronounce it.
How about you, Al? You got a favorite Christmas in July song?
My favorite Christmas song is by Mojo Nixon called Christmas, Christmas. You can find it on the punk rock Christmas various artists disc. It's really actually pretty cool song. Lots of great Christmas songs on that disc.
I think there's a lot of good ones. That David Bowie, Bing Crosby, Drummer Boy. Got Mariah Carey, right? All I Want for Christmas Is You. Jovan, how about you? What's your favorite Christmas song?
So it's an old Run DMC Christmas song. I think it's called Christmas in Hollis.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I always thought that was LL Cool J because he's from Hollis. I guess
Run DMC.
Is it?
Yeah,
that's a good one. Sitting here in Hollis, Queens, eating something lima beans or something, right?
Mom's cooking.
Yeah,
chicken and collard greens or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that, right? That's a good one. Yeah, I like them all. But it is Christmas in July. It's the last day of July. Once July's over, so it's Christmas in July. So Thaddeus Dorsey asking what games will be the best Nerfy. We have the Nerfy betting tool. Go to sportschatplace.com. Head on over. The Nerfy. But I do know that the Arizona Diamondbacks 12 in a row versus the National League East as Yes runs first inning. So 12 in a row. Actually, the Dodgers 8 in a row at Coors Field to the Yerfie. A lot of good ones out there today. Chris is nodding his head in agreement. What, you want to read one off for us?
Well, hold on, let me go find it because I was actually just pulling up the sports chat plays tool. So
yeah, there's a lot of Yerfie states. St. Louis Cardinals 7 in a row. Nerfie's on the road against the National League.
I'd go Twins Padres run first inning.
Angels, no runs first inning. 6 in a row against the American League. Cubs, 5 Nerfies in a row on the road.
Yeah, I can't remember if you said the Dodgers. Yes runs first inning at Coors Field, 8 in a row.
All right, good story.
Yeah, it was probably my favorite one.
Anyways, got a ton of Major League Baseball games going on today. Let's just get right into it. As we close out July with the Blue Jays taking on the Tigers, those Blue Jay backers on the run line yesterday. Oh man, they
were sweating it out.
They were sweating it out. And
I wasn't sweating anything.
Got oh man. It's like the thing is, it's like, why didn't they take that pitcher out? He was clearly struggling. I mean, clearly struggling. And I thought when Hernandez hit the ball, it was a lazy pop fly to center field. It just kept going. He knew it was a home run, though. He just stood there. Anyways, Josiah Gray on the mound here against Andre Pallant, so we know who Bittler's got in that one. And then we got the Pirates, JT Brubaker, up against the overrated Aaron Nola at -180. Hoist the Jolly Roger. Chris, what do you think of these three?
And I'm going to lean towards the Pirates, +1.5 in this one. Aaron Nola, for a lot of the season, he was doing his best work on the road, but he's really struggled in his last 5 starts, allowing 3 runs or more in 4 of the 5. And like I said, he's been getting beat around on the road a little bit. I don't expect the Pirates to do a ton of damage, but Baker does his best work at home, and I think he just had a lot of bad luck this season, but I think maybe the Pirates can keep this one close. Nola tends to struggle on the road a little bit more here, so give me the Pirates +1.5 here.
Well, if anyone's an expert on struggling on the road, it's Chris Ruffalo. Ron, what do you got?
I'm going to take the under in that Phillies-Pirates game. I do like Aaron Nola, even though he has had his struggles in a couple outings, but in between a couple struggling starts, he still had a really good start against the Marlins, and I would consider the Pirates and Marlins to be a little bit similar lately offensively. Both teams near the bottom in team OPS against righties. In fact, they're 26th and 27th, respectively. Pirates have a much higher strikeout rate against righties in that stretch in the last month, 26.7% against righties. So I think Nola will have some success today, but I also do think JT Brubaker will have a pretty solid outing himself. Like Chris mentioned, better at home this season. And, I think the fact that he's been able to earn some strikeouts this season and not really get burnt by the home run ball has helped him have a solid season. I mean, sub-4 ERA overall this year, not bad for Brubaker. So I think he has a decent outing, and I think we go under the total here.
How about you, Brian? Josiah Gray action?
Well, those two plays are, I can't get into detail on those, but out of this slot, I'm going to take the Detroit Tigers +1.5 just on principle. Jose Barrios as a -280 favorite here. He has been pitching better as of late, but that's just a ton of juice. And Garrett Hill, not very good, but they should be able to get 5 innings from him. The Tigers bullpen has the 4th best ERA in baseball. So I think this one stays within 1. I'll take the Tigers +1.5.
Big out.
I was thinking about Toronto minus the 1.5, but I think that might be spitting into the wind after yesterday. So I'll go with St. Louis as a road favorite against Washington. Washington dreadful as a home dog, 37-82, -32 net gains in that category. Meanwhile, St. Louis as a road favorite, 32-12, +17 net games. And yeah, Josiah Gray when the Nats are a home dog with him on the hill, 1-12. So I'll take St. Louis.
But he's also 2.06 ERA in the day games. So he goes to 6.7 at home, but he's 2.06 at home day. So it's significant 4.5 4 3/4 run drop off there. So I'm not saying the Cardinals aren't going to score more than 4 3/4 runs though, and I mean, Jovan.
Yeah, I go with the Tigers, Blue Jays over. One thing about Jose Barrios, he might give up a lot of runs. He might give up runs, but he's going to get that run support. So Toronto will back him up. Garrett Hill, 7.20 ERA in his last 3, and on the road, 8.10 ERA. So I think this one should go over the 9 in this one.
I like the Tigers' first 5. I'm going to go with the Jovan style bet there. He loves those first 5ers. I'm going to go with the Tigers' first 5 in this one, though. I think they've started off these games pretty well against the Blue Jays, including yesterday. So I'm going to take them. They're not backing down from these guys. No one backs down from Barrios. That's for sure. What did they trade for Barrios? Blue Jays. A little trade deadline reminiscing here. Anyone have any guesses as to any of these 3 teams, any deals they might make? I think the Jays make a move. Chris thought they were going to get Castillo. Didn't happen.
I thought they were going to make a put. Yeah. I remember they gave up a few prospects for Castillo. They gave up Austin Martin. I remember he was like touted prospect. He came out of Vanderbilt, but we gave him up. And then I don't remember who else we traded away for him. But
Oh, it happens.
yeah.
Still, Juan Soto's sitting out there. My favorite game is tomorrow. The Mets, that Mets-Nationals game. I know we all won't be together, but that Mets-Nationals game, you got $75 million worth of pitchers out there in the mound. Scherzer against Corbin, $78 million worth of pitchers. Yikes. Got the Atlanta Braves against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Max Fried against Merrill Kelly. The Braves continue to chop away at the Mets, but just not quite there yet, are they? Got the Yankees against the Royals and the Red Sox and the Brewers. Buffalo.
Yeah, I was looking at this Milwaukee and Boston matchup. I'm looking at the over 9.5 here. I don't love what I've seen from Aaron Ashby, but I think the Brewers will be able to back him up. And Josh Winkowski, he doesn't feel like part of the Boston rotation. I know he is. I know he's got a consistent spot in that rotation, but just feels like a miss that rotation. I think the Brewers get to, but I also think the Red Sox going to pick their play up offensively here. So off of Aaron Ashby, give me the over 9.5. I think that's a 6-5 kind of game.
Ron.
Yeah, somebody commented on the rundown that I take the Arizona Diamondbacks every day and just hope they win one of these days.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I mean they were having a real hot stretch, especially at home. But I still like these matchups against the Brave starting pitchers. I think the reason why I believe the Mets are the better team in that division is because I just don't trust this Braves rotation. And I think you're getting value here going up against Max Fried, who hasn't been very sharp lately. I mean, you look at his last start against the Phillies, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, and in a loss against the Phillies. And the Diamondbacks have been money against left-handed pitching, top 5 in team OPS and isolated power against lefties. So I think they can do some damage on Fried, and you got your best option on the mound in Merrill Kelly. I know this Braves lineup is tough, and they're probably going to score 4 or 5 runs, but as long as Arizona can pitch in 3 or 4 themselves, they might be able to cover the run line at least. So Kelly's 7-1 with a 3.18 ERA on the road. I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks plus the 1.5.
Diamondbacks plus 3 units on the season on the run line and overall, and minus 2.6 units on the money line, which puts them ahead of 17 other teams in the major leagues as far as betting, being stuck on a team. So not a bad team to get stuck on. Brian?
Yeah, I agree with Romanelli here. He's definitely onto something here with Arizona. Merrill Kelly on the road, like he said, 7-1. He's 10-5 overall. Gets run support from Arizona, and the Diamondbacks. Also, Merrill Kelly, 6 of his last 7 have been quality starts. 26-20 run line on the road for Arizona, while 25-31 for Atlanta on the run line. To me, I think Arizona's due. I'm going to take Diamondbacks plus 1.5.
Worst team this season is the Los Angeles Angels, if anyone was wondering. They are 5 full units clear of the Washington Nationals for that last place on the money line. And when you look at the run line, the worst team is the Washington Nationals, and it's not even close. A full 6 units ahead of the Marlins in that respect. And the Toronto Blue Jays just really a horrible.
I thought the White Sox would be down on the run line list.
Oh,
along with the Phillies.
They're 20th, but but they're not. Like when you get into that middle range, like that 13 to 20 range, there's not a lot of separation. But when you get into like that 24 through 30, that's when you start to really get into the meat and potatoes of the losing money. And that's the Toronto Blue Jays is a great way to lose a lot of money this season, both on the money line and the run line. Down 12.9 units on the run line, and then you could also have dropped another 5.6 units on the straight up bets. So just if you're looking to lose some money, Toronto's a great place to be. Al?
Not in love with any of these games, but I'll go with the Yankees as the big favorite. 40-12 at home this season, including 17-2 in the daytime. Zach Greinke on the road, 7.38 ERA. So, I'll take Montgomery and lay the 260.
Romanelli's starting to find some love for Greinke. Kind of likes him. Maybe Greinke gets traded here at the trade deadline.
Oh, no love for me with Greinke.
Maybe he goes to the Mets. Anyways, it seems like a logical place. Reunite him with Buck Showalter for the first time. It's a reuniting, but it's like they've never really played together, but they could have. They both.
I could see the Phillies getting Greinke. They pick up those type of
I could see the
players.
Mets. I could see the Mets doing it. I could see the Mets. It's a Met move all the way. Jovan, what do you think of these 3 gems?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Brewers, Red Sox over. You might have to wait a while for it. Might be touch and go to the late innings. Late innings seems like, the Brewers have really tagged the Red Sox pitching, and I think they'll score like at least 4 or 5 runs in the first 5 innings or whatever. But it just seems like it's a low, in between like maybe the 6th or 7th, and then like in the 8th or 9th they'll score. They'll tag the Red Sox for some runaway runs. You know what I mean? Turn a 1-run game into a 4 or 5-run game. But
that's what they've done. That's what they've done the last 2 nights.
Right, exactly. So yeah, the Red Sox bullpen is just atrocious. That's just the fact of the matter. And I think something like that happens. The Brewers relievers aren't too hot. They have been like in this series, but yeah, Aaron Ashby, he's a lefty. Not has been giving it up, but the Red Sox haven't been hitting lefties, so you might have to wait for it. But it'll get over the total of 9.5.
Yeah, it sucks when it's like when you bet on a team. Like I had the Padres yesterday, and they had like 1 million hits and no runs. It was like runners left on base all night long. I think they out hit them at one point. It was 16-5 or something, and they're still losing 2-1. And it's like every ball that gets hit to the outfield is like lands on the warning track or in front of it, and then it's like one little chip shot by the Twins, by Carrasco. It's like deep home run to center. It's like, what's the difference between those two things? It's like I can never figure it out. But I'll tell you what, Padres sucked last night. That's for sure. Brian Bitler was on the right side of it. I was on the wrong side. Happens. See,
It happens.
it happens. It goes both ways. That's for sure. But yeah, what was the final on the hits there? Because it just seemed that way. I guess the Twins actually did out-hit the Padres when all was said and done. 9-8, 2 errors. Oh, one of them was by that pitcher. What was his name? Pagan. Anyone's catch that? Just threw it into the dugout. It's like, what are you doing? It's like a ground ball. The pitcher just picks it up, throws like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball into the dugout. It's like, that's not safe. What's the guy on the A's who broke his hand like punching the locker? What was he? What's his name again? He pitched many years after on other teams too. Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll remember it. He's not a good player. Brian, he's probably on your list of.
Didn't he pitch for the Giants then? Didn't he sign with the Giants?
I think he pitched for everybody. I forget his name. It's not that long ago. No, it's not Chris Bassett. He got hit in the head with a ball. It's it was some reliever. It was pretty recent. He was out for 2 months. Liam Hendricks.
Oh.
Right? I think it was Liam Hendricks. Maybe it wasn't Liam Hendricks. Was it Liam Hendricks? He's out for 2 months, punched the locker. I don't know. Eagles to the Super Bowl, early prediction. If I was a bookie, I would take that action. Yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that's going to happen in our lifetime. It's like, let's see, we make it to the national championship game. You got a stacked-ass team. And, all right, we'll pull you in the second half for a guy that hasn't played all season. Yeah.
Trey Lance is going to the Super Bowl this year.
Maybe if he gets traded to
Niners,
else.
Broncos. Niners, Broncos. That's my pick.
Niners, Broncos. Been watching one too many times through Rudy. This is the prettiest sight these eyes have ever seen. Ned Beatty. Oh, man. All right. Where are we? I don't even know. Jovan went, right? So my turn. I like I like the over in that Diamondbacks Cardinals game as well. I think the Diamondbacks have a chance there. Anyways, it's Diamondbacks Braves, right? Yeah. I like the Diamondbacks. The Braves just seem to not be able to make that move. All right, well, I regather my thoughts here. Chris, what are you selling? Melakaliki Maka. We should play this. We should do the snow for the last day of Christmas in July.
Take advantage of the snow while we still can. But I still got my $15 pickoff play today. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a bump in the road yesterday, but I'm going to finish the month strong today with that play. Also have that pickoff play part of my Sunday Slam 3-pack for $40 over PickDawgz Premium. It's like we always say, today's the last day to take advantage of Christmas in July. A lot of us have, special prices on our long-term packages. So make sure you find a cap you like and take advantage of it, because at midnight tonight, they're gone.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, it was raining cash on the screen, and I've got my Christmas in July sale. I just put it up today. A one-day only Christmas in July. You can get my bread and butter monthly plays package for 30% off the normal price. So usually $390, now it's $273 just today only. It'll get you my baseball premiums the rest of the month. You also get some NFL preseason, college football as well. And I also have my MLB best bet, my $15 MLB best bet on the website as well.
So the thing is, if you buy like a long-term package, regardless of what price you get it at, you have the opportunity to renew at that same price as long as the package stays active. Once the package goes inactive, then so does the price. Brian?
Bounce back yesterday, 3-0, 7 of 10 days in the winning, in the positive since coming back from the All-Star break. You get my best bet, my titanium play at PickDawgz.com, or make sure you take advantage of the Christmas in July, because like everybody said, this is the time to get in at a special rate and increase your profits.
Nice pitch. Al?
I have one play today. Had a nice winner yesterday on the Blue Jays -1.5 runs. Now
had it all the way. Had it all
the way. I got an email from a client who, you always get the emails when it's at the worst point in the game.
Oh, yeah.
When they were down by, they're down by 2 runs, and the guy's like sending me an email. You suck. All that crap. never heard from him after the home run though.
I love the "you suck" emails. I save them all. I got a ton of them. It's like I have to pay for extra mail. My server.
He is coincidentally the same guy sent me an email on the other night when the Yankees were getting one hit by the Royals, but after Aaron Judge hits the home run, don't hear from him either. But that's the way it goes. But today I've got my interleague game of the year, hoping to move to 16-4 in my last 20. I'm 4-0 in my last 4 interleague games of the month or games of the year, so it's a really nice play today. And we've got the Christmas in July final day to get on board for the 50% off annual special.
NFL Super Bowl pick?
I have one, but I'm going to give it in August. I'm not going to put my neck on the line until I see the quarterback survives, You
see that Tyreek Hill Tua play? Oof. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Jovan?
Yeah, I got a 5-pack going today. All of those sold individually. I went 1 and 2 yesterday. Made the wrong choice on the premium that I should have had off, and there was another one that I took off. So that turned a 2-on-1 day into a 1 and 2 day. But looking to bounce back in this one. It's Christmas in July, last day. Get it while you can.
I got my $15 big play. I have a few other plays that are available as well. The thing is that, I don't always put all my picks up that I have for sale. So only if you get the long-term packages. So that's part of the deal of getting the Christmas in July, or even the yearly package itself before the Christmas in July is a deal. In the half for any of these cappers. We don't offer 2-for-1 capper for the yearly, but if you did Christmas in July, it's basically like doing the 2-for-1 if you got 2 different cappers. Take advantage of it. And the thing is, like I said, call it a glitch in our system or whatever the case may be, but whatever price you buy in, you can renew on that. So you can get someone's package and get it at the same price for next year, even if they increase their prices. It's a long-term investment. It's the wise way to say Merry Christmas to you, as Brian would say. Anyways, move to our next set of games. What do you expect on Thursday, Chris, for the game? Do you think they'll get the logo painted right this year? You think everything's going to be?
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like they take it as the first game, really work out all the kinks, so you figure you're bound to see a couple mistakes, and it's like you treat it as almost a drinking game. First one to find the spelling mistake in the logo. Yeah, I think there's going to be a couple of hiccups, but I'll just be happy to have football back.
I think that painting of the logo was one of the weirdest cancellations you'll have. I think obviously Disco Demolition Night in Chicago. I'd say the logo painting is another one. And then for as far as a stoppage of a game, the college all-stars used to play the defending Super Bowl champions, and they drew the 78 Steelers. It started raining. They're like, all right, we got an excuse. Let's just stop the game. It was like, can you imagine like a bunch of college kids playing against like Mean Joe Green and Elsie Greenwood, like Franco and Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swann. It's like, they won 4 Super Bowls. It's like they're out there playing against a bunch of college all-stars. It's like Joe Washington happened to be on that team for the college all-stars. He just wanted out, He went on and had a major career with Washington, and he was great, He was from Oklahoma, and he just wanted out. I remember just seeing him standing there in the pouring rain, and like when they called the game, it was like no disappointment from those college students. I'm probably one of the few that remembers those things, but man, it was awesome. You got to look it up. See that, but they stopped the game. Anyways, I've seen some games that they should stop. That game at Fenway, 25-8. We've got the Rays against the Guardians. Brian Shaw's starting for the Guardians.
Bullpen game.
Yeah, it sounds like it. The deep into the bullpen.
Yeah.
Pablo Lopez with a paying gig against Taijuan Walker. He's trying to extend that Marlins home losing streak to Baker's dozen, right? Isn't that what it'll be at? Something like that. And then you got the Reds taking on the Orioles. Orioles jumped out to a 2-0 lead yesterday, and that was pretty much the end of the ass slapping for the O's. The rest was the Reds slapping them around. Chris, what do you think of these three?
And the game I'm leaning towards the most is actually the Guardians plus 1.5, mainly because, like you said, it is a bullpen game, and Brian Shaw does feel like sort of the you're reaching for straws in the Guardians bullpen. But as a staff, the Guardians bullpen a 2.20 ERA in their last 10, a 1.17 ERA in their last 5, and while Shane McClanahan's been the best of the bunch for the Rays scoring 3 runs or less in 6 of their last 8 games. I think if the Guardians bullpen holds here, we could have a close game. So give me the Guardians plus 1.5.
Ronald Romanelli.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays on the run line. Unfortunately, I got to go against Buffalo, but just the Guardians, I don't know how many runs they're going to score if they score any in this one. I think Shane McClanahan, obviously the best lefty in baseball right now, and the Guardians have just struggled so much against left-handed pitching. 27th in team OPS last 30 days, 25th in isolated power, and McClanahan, like I mentioned, the best lefty around these days. So I think he has a strong outing here, and the total's low for a reason. The Rays' offense isn't very good, but Brian Shaw is also not the best option here. He's only going to pitch about an inning or two, but I still don't trust. I do like the Guardians' bullpen in the later innings. Obviously, Emmanuel Clase is one of the best closers around, but when you have early relievers going in this game and going 9 innings, that's where it scares me a bit. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays and lay the 1.5.
Well, speaking of isolated power, Brian Bitler, what do you think of this slot?
I like this slot, and really, I think I missed the boat here. I should have been in on the Cincinnati Reds on the money line. Nick Lodolo. I think we saw the real Lodolo last time out. I know it was against the Marlins, a weak-hitting team, but if you look at his minor league numbers, a 2.42 ERA over 81 innings pitched, a 1.05 WHIP. Austin Voth probably go 2-3 innings for the Orioles here. So I think the Reds. I think this is far and away the better free pick here.
Out.
I'm going to take the under 6.5 runs in the Guardians-Rays game. Tampa Bay with McClanahan on the hill, 27-15 for the under this season. When the over/under line's less than 7 at home, they're 6-1 under the total. So look for a low-scoring game here under the 6.5.
So one of the people in the comments wants to know, why is this live? And I guess the answer is because I said so. It's my show, my channel. I want it to be live, so we'll just go with the because I said so. I think that's a good answer. There it is. Why is this live? Because I said so. All right. It's good. As long as we're all in agreement. He said, okay. Well, thanks for your approval on that one. Jovan?
Yeah.
Now that Knox says it's okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Mets in this one. Not only do the Mets have a 5-game winning streak, but Taijuan Walker, day games he's 4-0 for .57 ERA, away games 5-2 with a 3.23 ERA. So this on the strength of that alone, outside the the other trends, I'll just roll with the Mets.
I love the over in the Rays Guardians game, 6.5. It's like they're begging you to take the over. You don't have to beg me too much. I'll take it. Shane McClanahan, just another All-Star game pitcher that's just going to get racked up. Those American League starters in the All-Star game traditionally get just pounded the second half of the season. See Chris Sale started how many times? 6 times. How many Cy Youngs does he have? Zip. And that's because they get racked up in the second half of the season. A little too overconfident, and I'll tell you, he got smacked around pretty good in that All-Star game too. So his ego a little bit on the Brewers side. Brian Shaw, he's no gem either, and I could see this one being Yurfie all day long. I could see this one being over in the first inning. With these two guys, Shane McClanahan could be the most overrated, I think he could be the most non-deserving starter in the history of the All-Star game.
I don't know how you could say that. I have no idea how you could say that.
Well, because he wasn't. He shouldn't. This year, neither starter in the All-Star game deserved to be the starter.
Well, I could see Kershaw.
Neither of them.
Not McClanahan. No,
oh yeah, he's way better than Justin Verlander. Way better.
He's having a better season than Verlander.
No, he's not.
Close.
No, he's not.
It's close.
No,
yes,
he's not.
It's 100%. Yes.
He's not. What's his ERA?
I would die on the
What's his ERA?
sword for that.
What's his ERA?
1.76. What's Verlander's? It's worse.
1.88.
So I mean, strikeout rate. I mean, you could look at any statistics. It's McClanahan all day.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I agree. It's McClanahan.
Well, Bitler says so.
I mean, look at the whip. 0.76 strikeouts to walk, 154 to 19.
Brian's 3-19 in Justin Verlander games this season. He's bet against him every single game, and he's gotten stomped.
I wish McClanahan would pitch against Verlander. I would take McClanahan.
They probably have. I would love to see it, and I would be all over Verlander in that thing.
Well, I mean, the Houston Astros are a pretty good lineup. Rays aren't, but I mean, number 1 in WHIP, number 1 ERA.
How many innings has he gone? 117.7. in 19 starts. So what is that? How many per start? 5 innings? 6?
Close to 6, yeah.
Yeah, and what's Verlander, 8?
I mean,
Yeah, so it's just a better baseball player from start to finish. Your Cy Young Award winner, Justin Verlander.
But McClanahan's probably at a value price where you're paying how much for
Well, it's
Verlander?
because he's earned that.
I know he's earned that.
He's
I'm just
earned
saying
that.
I'd rather pay McClanahan.
He's earned Patrick Corbin type money.
Patrick Corbin, Steven Strasburg.
I mean, that's the type of money these guys.
Listen, there's no doubting Verlander's having a fantastic year, a comeback player of the year, but you can't say McClanahan didn't deserve the start in the All-Star game.
Well, he didn't, but that's besides the point.
You're just biased.
So, and what if
Mitch has his favorites?
Of course I do. I never said I don't. Everyone knows these things about me. I pick favorites. And I can dish it out and can't take it. Everyone knows these things. I mean, this is Mitch 101, you know?
I enjoy long walks on the beach, picking favorites.
Getting caught in the rain.
So again, don't go back to the half a brain thing.
Justin Verlander. Let's see what his numbers say. He's got 124 innings.
Okay, so 7 more innings.
Yeah, and how many more in 19 games? So the same. Yeah. It's got 122 strikeouts. McClanahan has
154, I think. But McClanahan's got an 11.78 Ks per 9. Verlander 8.85. He limits more walks.
I agree with you. Verlander is the much better player and having the much better season.
How dare you?
He just is.
Not only did he get the All-Star start, he's going to get the Cy Young as well.
I don't think so.
Just like Alex Cobb.
He certainly will. You see how sharp he was last time? 11 strikeouts.
It's because I got Cobb twice.
You got cobbed.
You got cobbed. Rob Cobb. Isn't that his name? Bob Cobb? The maestro. The maestro. The maestro. Bob Cobb. All right. Got the Astros and the Mariners. Got the White Sox and the A's, and the Rockies taking on the Dodgers. Chris, Feliz Navidad, Jorge Kirby.
I was gonna say I was almost gonna take the Mariners might play in the slot because of Jorge Kirby, but I can't pass up on Dylan Cease here. I'm gonna lay the -2.5 with the White Sox here. I know the Oakland A's have been hot, but nothing will bring a screeching halt to that faster than starting Adam Oller here. Dylan Cease just been on an absolute tear. He's allowed one run.
I tell you what can bring it to a screeching halt is Bittler and I agreeing on the same team, the same game. That'll halt any winning streak in a hurry. That'll be the end of it. It's like, you want to see a team lose badly, have Bittler and I agree strongly on it. It's like,
yeah, Dylan Cease has been on a warpath. Last 8 starts, he's allowed 1 earned run or less. And Adam Oller, he did get the win against the Astros last time out, but still, I think gave up 4 runs in that start. I think this is the spot where the White Sox could actually have a solid home outing, and Dylan Cease pitches a gem again against this Oakland A's team. So give me the White Sox -2.5 here.
President of the Verlander fan club, Ron Romanelli. What would you like to hear?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dylan Cease has been the hottest pitcher in baseball in the last month or so, or you could even say 2 months. But I just worry about this White Sox offense. I think, laying the 1.5 runs, it's not the greatest price. Like Ruffalo mentioned, laying 2.5 runs would probably get you better value. But I just don't know if I want to lay 2.5 runs with Chicago right now. I think the better play in that game is just taking the under. Dylan Cease hasn't given up more than 1 earned run since May 24th, I believe. So the Oakland A's offense, although it's been better as of late, still not the best overall. And I think Cease continues to deliver, and I think this game goes under the total. Even though Adam Oller has struggled, I'd lean towards the White Sox and the under.
Worst trade, Dylan Cease and Eloy Jimenez for Jose Quintana, or the Seattle Luis Castillo trade?
We'll have to see, but
It's
I
pretty
think
close.
the Mariners really overpaid. We'll have to see in a couple of years. But
I think it's pretty close. In fact, I might
Yeah.
have to almost say that the Castillo trade is worse.
yeah, I mean, depending on if Eloy can stay healthy, because Novelli Marte, I think, is going to be a big time MLB
But even if
player.
it was Cease for Quintana,
I mean, lopsided.
yep, very lopsided. Maybe we can get that Nico Horner in the fold. See, how about Liam Hendricks, Nico Horner, and Hap, Brian?
Yeah, I'm addicted to taking the Colorado Rockies on the run line against the Dodgers. It's worked. They've cashed 2 out of 3 in the series so far. And Gonsolin, his last start, looked human against the Washington Nationals. And Marquez, Herman Marquez, he's 4 very good starts in a row. So I think this is another one-run game, maybe even a Rockies upset here, but I'll take the +1.5.
Any home run props against Aller in this thing? He gives up some. He can give up some pretty long home runs when.
Yeah, I would
when
take
he's
a
on.
White Sox guy. Yeah.
You know? When he applies himself, he can really give up the long ball. Al,
Well, Jake Odorizzi has made 4 starts since returning from the injured list. 3 against Oakland, 1 against Kansas City. He's allowed 14 runs and 21 in the third innings in those games. So he's not pitching great for the season. A pedestrian 4.25 ERA. Meanwhile, Kirby has done very well in July, 1.65 ERA. Seattle's won all 3 of those starts. I'll take Seattle plus $1.15.
did you know they were showing Canadian football on ESPN too this year?
I did not.
See, no,
How did I miss that?
we were on the show yesterday. Zawacki pointed out. I was like, nobody even knew. I thought they were showing cornhole.
I still don't think I would watch.
No, it's been on every week. I haven't watched it. Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oakland on a run line +1.5. I mean, Alomar, I faded him, but in his, couple games. But I just don't know if the White Sox are gonna take advantage of his pitching, quite frankly. And if they get 3 runs off him or 4 runs. I think that they'll give it right back in their bullpen. So I think it's going to be one of those 4-3, 5-4, 6-5 type games. Oakland's actually playing well enough, overall to where that's likely to happen in my book.
Yes, runs first inning in that Dodgers Rockies game is -160. That's how hot that bet is. -160 at Bet Rivers. Yikes.
Those odds are too low for you, Mitch.
They are a little too low. I'll have to take the +1. Where's El Niños when you need him? He's probably crying over that Dodgers 5-3 loss outright yesterday with Kershaw going. Anyways, I'm going to stick with that. I like the Rockies on the run line also, plus the 1.5 against the Dodgers. Go to our nightcap, the last 3 games on the board. We got the Angels against the Rangers. We've got the Padres against the Twins. 2 guys that really find a lot of the plate in that one. And then you got the Giants and the Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball, which makes you stop and think for a second. How do they pick these Sunday Night Baseball games? How is that decision made? Because you got the Cubs and Giants when I think Kirby against Odorizzi would be a lot better game to watch. And Pablo Lopez, Taijuan Walker would be a nice game to watch. Even Merrill Kelly, Max Fried. Almost every game on the board. I'd take Brubaker against Nola over that. Yeah, pretty much half the games on the board I would take over this one. But it is the game. Angels, Rangers, Reed Detmers pitching. Got Padres, Twins, and Giants, Cubs. Chris, did you vote for that Giants-Cubs Fan Appreciation Day?
I did not. I probably should have to try to save us from this. I was waiting for my cue with the whole, speaking of someone that finds a lot of the plate thing about the Padres and Twins, but that's why I'm still going to take the over in that game. I'm with you. Sean Manaea for me, right up there with Blake Snell's the weak link in San Diego's rotation. And Dylan Bundy, while he has improved his road ERA over the course of the season, it's still an ERA up around 6. And I think this is just going to be another high-scoring game on Sunday. So give me the over between the Twins and Padres.
Ron, what did you think of those Padre uniforms last night?
Yeah, I kind of like them. I'm not I don't love all the City Connect unis this year, especially the Red Sox. I really don't like theirs. But yeah,
Boston's strong. But those are the marathon colors.
I know. I just don't like that color. It looks like mustard to me. But
wow.
I mean, listen, I'm a Yankee fan, so anything the Red Sox do, I'm not going to really like it much. But and then in that nightcap, these are my least favorite games on the board. I have to lean towards the over in that Twins-Padres game. Like Chris mentioned, I think Manaea got to be one of the weaker links in an overall pretty good Padres rotation. The reasons why they're winning a lot of games this year. But Manaea recently really struggling with the home run ball, giving up 5 in his last 4 starts combined, at least 1 in each of those, and hasn't really faced the toughest of lineups, the Tigers, the D-backs, the Rockies. Not too bad, but the Minnesota Twins have crushed lefties lately, and I think they can do it here. And Dylan Bundy on the road has not been a good bet at least recently. And overall, Bundy giving up 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. I think he's in trouble here. So give me the over in that game.
Brian?
For me, this time slot, I like the slot. I think the LA Angels here, very solid pick. Maybe should have been a premium pick, just like the Reds. Detmers, 3.84 ERA, which isn't spectacular, but a 1.07 WHIP. His last 3 starts have been solid. I just think the Angels finally got that monkey off their back and got a home W. I think they get another one tonight. I'll take the Angels.
Al?
I'm going to take San Francisco with Carlos Rodon, 37-28 in his career in his home starts, plus 5.2 net games. Adrian Sampson, his team's in his career road starts 4-12, so I'll take San Fran minus $1.83.
Jovan?
Yeah, my man Dylan Bundy's back to giving up runs. I like that. The Minnesota Twins last 10 against lefties, 274. So I think this one should go over the total just like yesterday. Should be a fairly easy over at that.
I like the Rangers against the Angels. The Angels won yesterday back-to-back and all that other stuff. Just not happening this year. Probably the worst team. I'd say the Angels are the biggest disappointment of any team in baseball this season. And, I think Shohei Ohtani is going to be wearing a Giants uniform by this time next week. Parlay time. Chris Ruffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to do the over between the Padres and Twins. I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians plus 1.5. I'll take the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5.
Ron?
I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks plus the 1.5 runs. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays laying the 1.5 runs.
Brian?
I got a thank me later parlay. Take the Diamondbacks plus 1.5. LA Angels money line, Cincinnati Reds money line.
Al?
I'm actually going to use a play that I didn't talk about. I'm going to switch. So I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays minus 1.5 runs, hooked up with the Seattle Mariners plus $1.15.
Siobhan?
Brewers-Red Sox over. Oakland A's run line plus 1.5. And the New York Mets.
Diamondbacks. Braves. Yes, runs first inning. Dodgers, Rockies. Yes, runs first inning. Cardinals, Nationals. No runs first inning. 2 Yerfies and a Nerfie. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Christmas in July, last day of Christmas in July. Take advantage. Buy yourself a package. You won't regret it. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you.